All right. Hi, everybody. Oh, my goodness. So, good afternoon. Thank you so much for tuning into the AllBrands show. We're having just a little bit of a technical difficulty right now. Turns out we're not streaming to Facebook. We are streaming just to YouTube right now. So, howdy to all of our YouTube friends. Thank you so very much for tuning in today. We have a really, really exciting show for you today, and you're going to want to stay tuned. We have a really awesome giveaway at the very end. As you know, we always give away our $100 AllBrands gift card. So we will be doing that at the end of the show. And we're going to be doing something a little different today. You know, a lot of our shows recently have been focusing on quilting and embroidery, but I'm really excited to talk a little bit about garments today and sewing clothes. That's how I got my start. So I absolutely love talking about it, and I love seeing other people do it. So we have the incredible, the awesome friend of the show, the incomparable Carrie Cunningham with us today. So let's go ahead and bring Carrie on the show. Hey, Carrie.
Hi, how are you, Kalli?
Good. How are you doing?
I'm good. Hi, everyone.
Yes. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in. And one thing that I did want to mention before we go ahead and get started that I failed to mention earlier is that we are going to be at the Everything Embroidery Market in Biloxi. I believe that is September 9th through the 11th. Don't quote me on those dates. It might be the 8th. It's 8th or 9th. But it'll be in Biloxi. We will be there. So if you are in the area or you want to come down and see us, absolutely come do that. And don't forget, now that we are streaming on Facebook, now apologies for the technical difficulties, but now that we're streaming on Facebook, go ahead and like this video, leave us a comment, go ahead and share this video or subscribe to our YouTube channel if you're watching on YouTube, and that will enter you in to the $100 gift card giveaway that we will be doing at the very end of the show. So without further ado, so Carrie, what are we going to be making today?
We are going to be, and why did I have this closer to me? We are going to be making this duster.
Yes.
So we're actually going to make view C.
Awesome.
This one. And so it's really easy. You get 5 pattern pieces. You have your sleeve, front, back, pocket, and the band. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I feel like this is a pretty easy. I feel like this might be a good beginner project for someone who is fairly new to garment sewing. It looks straightforward.
To sew, but it's really easy, and the instructions are really easy to read and understand and follow.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, then let's go ahead and get started. I know we got a lot to cover today, so let's just go ahead and get started with the process. Yeah.
Okay, so we do a little bit of prep work, and that is preparing the pockets and the side seams. So let me switch my camera over, and I will show you how to do that. We'll go to the table for just a minute. So here's our pockets here, and we cut 4 pieces. I've already cut them. The key with the pocket, though, is to do all of your finishing on the pocket and the side seams before you get started. So that's the prep work. So the first thing I'm going to show you is how to finish the pocket. I've done 3 of them, or 3 of the pieces, and I'll just do the one for you on camera.
Hey, Carrie, I think you may be muted. Yeah, I think you might be muted. Yep.
Okay.
There we go. We can hear you now.
There we go.
Oh, there we go.
There we go. Okay. We are at the Serger. We're actually at the Serger. You can see in the background one of the dusters that I recently finished. It's a different pattern, but it's the same process. So here's our pocket. Move the camera. Let's get it back. All right. There we go. So here's our pocket. And what I like to do is the straight part of the pocket first, and then we'll do the curve. Don't be afraid of those curves, even on your Serger.
Hey, Carrie, it looks like your shoulder's blocking the camera just a little bit.
Okay. Is that better?
A little bit. Could you angle the camera down just a little bit more? Perfect. Yeah, perfect.
And then I'll angle myself out of the way. I actually have enough room to do that.
Awesome. And for those of you at home that are curious, this is Carrie's got the Juki MO1000 that she's surging these on right now. This is an awesome sewing. This is an awesome serger.
My power horse.
Yeah, it really is. It's amazing.
I can't even tell you how many different types of fabrics I put through here. And the nice thing about this machine, that we talk about settings and all that all the time, I really don't have to often change my my tension.
Really?
They're all set at 4. I just do a test, and if it works, it works. And it's very rare. So I don't look in the instruction book to see, okay, this is velvet, let's change to this. So that's I'll test the piece. If it's fine, it's fine. This machine will just take whatever I put in it.
Yeah, and I find that it varies too. It varies a whole lot. I don't know, maybe it's just me, and I sew weird stuff. Like I'll make costumes, I've made bags with all my serger and everything.
Upholstery fabric.
Yeah.
I tested on it. Like, let's see if you can do this.
Right. Just out of curiosity, let's see. We'll put you through the ringer for a minute just to kind of check it out and see, right?
Exactly. Exactly. So here on the pattern piece, there's a little notch. It's right there. Let's see. I'll hold it up so you can see it. So there it is. It's right here. So what I did on the pocket is when I placed that pattern piece on there, I cut that notch just a little bit. I didn't cut it. I snipped it. And so when I serged it, I'm going to snip it again so I can see it. So there it is. I need that. So that's going to show me, that notch shows me where to place this pocket on the side seams of the the kimono. So now I'm going to do the curve. So you do want to finish the whole pocket. So I'll do the curve, and you just follow the curve. So you have, I don't know how much we can see. Oh, I can't get any closer. But you have your blade here, and your stitches will be just to the left of the blade. So just line your fabric up along that blade, not beyond the blade, just along it, and let it finish, because you don't want to cut anything. I mean, you might cut slivers, but don't worry about that. And just go slow. I go super fast. I try to slow down when I'm doing these.
Now, Carrie, I'm not sure if it's the same with your serger, but with mine, I know you can adjust the knife or you can move it up, right? Can you do that on yours?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you can move it. There's a knob here that gives you the stitch width.
Yes.
And that's what moves the blade.
Yes.
Yeah, this serger has a lot of nice features on it.
It's really fantastic.
Because I do a ton of rolled hems on this.
It's not just overlocking. You've got the rolled hem. I think you can do cover stitches on this one?
No, this one you can't.
Okay.
But you can do pearls.
That's great.
There's presser feet for that. And I have a whole collection.
Yeah.
That's kind of what I want to be my Facebook Live, is to kind of demo that. But I bought all the presser feet from you guys, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. We do, in fact, sell those presser feet. So if y'all are on the market, take a look at our website.
I think it's a set of 6 or 8.
Yeah. Oh, and everyone, I wanted to point out to all of you watching at home, we do have a category page on our website with a bunch of the things that Carrie is currently using. Now, we don't carry simplicity patterns, unfortunately, but we do carry a similar pattern. It's essentially the same thing. We sell that on our website, and it is over on our category page down in the description below. If you are interested in shopping the patterns, scissors, the machines that Carrie's going to be working with today, anything like that. And now we have a finished pocket, or a finished piece of a pocket.
Yeah. So here's a little tip. So this is where I finished stitching. And then I have these couple threads sticking out. Just grab one of them, doesn't matter which one, and pull it until it's tight. Don't pull it hard, just pull it till it's tight and snip it off. And what that does is that prevents that from fraying or coming apart.
Oh.
So I'll do it again down here on the bottom. I'll cut, leave a little bit because I want to see that thread. And just pull it. You know, people say, oh, pull the bottom thread, pull the top thread, pull this. No, just pull one of them. Just pull a thread till it stops. And it creates its own little knot, and now that won't come loose on you.
Oh, that's great to know. I'm learning today. I'm learning already.
That's my tip of the day.
Yes. We're not even 10 minutes in, and I am learning. I'm learning some tips and tricks.
Okay, so we're going to go to the table. I'm going to open up the front piece. It's actually two pieces. And I'm going to place the pockets. And what I've done is I've already, oh no, I didn't. I didn't serge this side. So I'm going to go ahead and do that first. And I'm going to watch for those same notches because there's notches on the pattern piece. Let me switch the camera over to the table for a second. There's notches on the pattern piece that matches that pocket. There we are. I saw a black screen for a second.
Yeah, StreamYard does that sometimes. It can be a little funky.
No black screens. All right. So here's the underarm. Let me leave the pattern up here so you can see a little bit.
That fabric is so beautiful. Oh my goodness.
I've had this for a while and I just didn't know what to do with it. And so I pulled it out and checked it out. It's 2.5 yards. The pattern calls for 3 yards. So there's a standing joke. You say I need 3 yards. I have 2.5 yards. I'm going to make this work. So I made it.
For sure. Oh, absolutely.
And I have nothing left. I mean, like nothing left. which is what I want, right? Use it all.
Right. No waste. Yeah, zero waste.
Yeah, so here's your armhole, so you know that's the side seam. That curve is, and then up here is your shoulder. So you don't want to try to put pockets here because this is the front of your kimono. So we're going to move this pattern piece out of the way. Throw it on the floor like we do at home, right? Like we always do.
I'm guilty.
Find my notches. I think you can see them. Find my notches, which are here. If you can't see them, that's okay because we'll put the pocket on. And then all I need to do is make sure I'm using the right sides of my fabric. This is my right side. I'm going to put this other one over so I know I have both right sides going in the same direction. Make sure my armholes are out and I know where I am. And then I just take one of the pockets. So this is right sides together and just match up those two notches and pin. I don't use a lot of pins at all. So I'm going to put 2 pins on here, one at the notch and one at the bottom. And then I'll grab the other front piece and do the same thing. And this fabric is it's a polyester rayon. It was funny in the store, they advertised it as silk, and I went to the counter. I said, "This is not silk." I'm sorry, so I'm not paying silk prices. He goes, "Oh, it's labeled wrong." Okay, but I do like it.
Right.
I will buy it, but not at that price.
I am in fact a fan, but
yeah,
silk prices weird. Not about the silk prices.
$8 off of it, $8 per yard off.
Oh wow!
And then they took it back and corrected the whole label. But it's a store I like to shop at, and they're really good in there. Okay, so I have my pockets placed. So I'm going to come back to the You know what? I forgot. Happens when you're talking. I'm going to move my pins out of the way so I don't have to repin these pockets. But I forgot to serge that side seam. And I don't want to put pockets in until I do that, because it's fabric real fray and it needs to be finished.
Oh, definitely. Okay. Now, I know, well, I totally lost my train of thought. I was so excited. I know that we're going to be using a serger on this too. But I do want to, or I did want to point out, we will be showing you how to do it without the serger if you don't have one. I know that for people who maybe are venturing into garment sewing for the first time, it's not something that you're immediately going to jump to. It took me quite a while to get one, or at least that's what I was thinking of. It took me a hot minute. So we will show you how to zigzag as well, which is just a little different. Oh, Carrie, I think you're muted again. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? I think it's only that camera. It's only this camera. Okay. So what I'll do is one side on the serger, and I'll do the other side on the sewing machine.
Perfect.
Follow the plan. That was the plan. Sometimes we forget what the plan was, right?
Sometimes the plans get derailed, you know?
You see my pocket hanging off of here, but that's okay. When I get down here to where the pocket is, I'm going to move it out of the way, because technically it wouldn't have been here. But the good thing is that it's already lined up with the pocket, so with the side. And you know, sometimes we're tempted to do everything. Wait, I dropped the piece. I want to make sure I have it. Here it is. Sometimes we want to sew everything right side up or right side down, but you want to sew in the same direction. So when I take this to the sewing machine, it's going to be on the other side. I don't know if you can see, but I'm just shaving off just a little bit. Just that little bit. That's it. And that little bit is cleaning up where I cut maybe slightly crooked or cut a little jagged. All that gets cleaned up. And I also want to point out that I'm only using 3 threads because I'm only finishing. If I were making this on the serger, which I could, I would be using 4 threads. That 4th thread would be my seam. Okay, so that's done. Nice and neat. Looks good. I'm happy with it. And there's my pocket kind of hanging out, waiting for some magic for itself. So let's do the other side on the sewing machine. So the tendency would be is that you want to turn this upside down because you were sewing on right side, but you want to still sew in the same direction as you started.
Yes.
So for the sewing machine, I'm going to change the zigzag. And I'm going to move my mouse out of the way.
Now, Carrie, you have, I believe it's an HZL F400 sewing machine?
The F400.
All right.
I love this machine.
It's another one of those just workhorses. I mean, I think it's a really fantastic machine, and it's so well constructed.
So I won it, and I didn't know anything about it. So I did all this research before I arrived. So I had already gone through the manual online. I was so excited. And what I didn't know is when it arrived, I lifted it out of the box. And as soon as I lifted it out of the box, I thought, you are going to be my primary machine.
Oh, yeah.
And sure enough, it still is. And that was 2007 or 8. So I've had the machine a while. But yeah, I won it in a contest that said, "Quote your stash," and I made a coat.
Oh, wow.
I I quilted the top. What I did was I quilted the Insulbright to the fabric, and the fabric was a upholstery fabric. It was
Wow.
the second thing I made on this machine.
Oh, that's awesome.
I made that to win the machine, but it was the only garment entered in that contest, and people got really excited about it and were voting for it.
Oh, wow.
Okay, so I'm going to do a little test. So I've set my zigzag at 3.5 width and a 2.4 length, and let's see if I like that. Now for a zigzag, you want to sew right on the edge. So when your needle comes over, you want your needle to hit the edge of your fabric. I'm sorry, the zigzag is 3.6 and 1.4. Sorry about that.
Oh, no worries.
Now let's see if I like it. And if I don't like it, I just make it wider. Let's take it off and see.
Let's see.
So it's a little bit too narrow. Oh, my hand is in the way. It's a little bit too narrow. It almost looks like a rolled hem, and I don't want that.
Oh, yeah, it does, huh?
Yeah, so I'm going to make it wider. Let's see. And I still want to make sure that when the needle swings, that it hits the edge of the fabric. Okay, this is better. A little bit wider. There we are. A little bit wider. So we'll leave it there. Actually, I'll make it there. So now I'm at 5.2 width and 1.4 length. And that's what I'm going to stick with.
There you go.
Pocket hiding under here, so I want to make sure I don't stitch on it. Roll it back out of the way here. And if you got a really heavy fabric that you're doing this finishing with on the zigzag, just go to your widest width. If it's heavy. See my pants, I'm not throwing over pants, those are pants holding my pockets.
So we did have a question from somebody on Facebook wondering what size the pattern we have on our website goes to. It goes all the way from size 0 to size 30. So there are plenty of options on that one.
So do you know the biggest bust size on that one?
Let's see here.
That would help them out.
Yeah, it looks like the largest bust size for that size 30 is going to be about 54.5 inches.
Okay, so that's almost like 3X, I think.
Yeah.
That's a good range.
Yeah, there's definitely a really good range on this one. That's why I like this pattern too. Yes, very, very, very inclusive. Oh, what was that?
Do you have a picture of it?
Yeah, we can pull one up for sure. Here, let me pull that up for us.
Okay, I'm almost there.
Yeah, while Carrie's doing that, this is the So Liberated lichen duster. And this is, you can kind of see the photo. It's a little small. So let's see if we can make that just a little bit bigger. Just a moment. So this is going to be that duster. This is what it looks like on.
Yeah.
Like I made this out of like linen, which is really gorgeous. And there are plenty of images of this in different colors and everything, different sizes. This one even comes with a belt, so you could wrap it if you wanted to.
And that pocket is on the outside. So
yes.
You can create your own inside pocket.
Oh, definitely.
Put it inside things, kind of like we did here. I usually go about 7 inches down from my waist from the top of the pocket, where the pocket is short. Oh, it's got a high-low hem too.
Yeah, this one does. And you could level that off if you wanted to. You definitely could. But as you can see, this one comes in a bunch of different colors, or not colors, but a bunch of different sizes.
You don't need a purse with that one.
Exactly. Exactly. And Troy's asking on YouTube, this is not the one on Carrie's site. Carrie is using a simplicity pattern for this one. Unfortunately, we don't carry simplicity patterns, but we do carry this brand, So Liberated, and they do have a pretty comparable pattern. Like Carrie pointed out, though they're subtly different. The pockets are on the outside. There's a belt. There's a high-low hem, stuff like that. But it's just slightly, ever so slightly different.
Yeah, and if you get a pattern and it doesn't have a band, you can just make your own band. And all you do is cut your front back just a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe ½ inch back, and then just add your band.
Now that I'm a lot more comfortable
to do that, the red one, the one in the photo, in our photo, that one I originally made without the band, and I wore it once. And then I hung it up. It was hanging like I could see it every time I passed my sewing room. And every time I passed my sewing room, I said, I don't like you. So I wouldn't wear it again. And then finally I got a piece of red linen. It was in my stash. I made a band and put it on. And I now wear this thing all the time. Because
I love that.
The linen gave it some weight.
Yeah.
It made it look a little more expensive than
right.
So yeah, I used to talk to it and tell it I didn't like it.
Stella on YouTube is wondering what brand sewing machine Carrie's got, and this is a Juki machine. This is the HZL F400. That's on our category page if you're curious about it. We do offer it, and it is, like we said earlier, it is just a powerhouse. It's a fantastic machine.
It will sew anything. You know what it did? I don't know how I got there, but I think I was making a quilt. And I use these quilting pins. I love these pins.
Oh yes, the little flower head ones.
I even use them for silk, but they're so fine.
They're awesome.
This machine sewed through this head.
Oh my gosh.
And my quilt layers.
Oh no.
It went thunk, 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 and it kept going.
Wow.
So it actually went through. So I still have the head somewhere. I kept the head, but it has 3 holes in it.
Wow. Oh my goodness. So we're getting a few questions. Looks like we're getting some questions from some folks. Steve and Norma Kaufman are wondering, are we going to see the finished product? And yes, you will see the finished product. You will have to join us next week. We're not going to make it to the end of this project today, but next Thursday, Carrie is going to be finishing up the garment, adding the band, all that good stuff. So tune in next week and you'll be able to see the finished product. And Sharon over on YouTube is wondering, what's the best thread for a serger? I would recommend something like Maxi Lock thread, which we carry. Maxi Lock is fantastic thread. I use it all the time on my sewing projects. It has never steered me wrong, personally. Carrie, do you have a particular brand of serger thread that you like?
I have thread that I get from a guy overseas. I have Maxi Lock as well, but this, I don't think it's a brand name. And the name of the company is an odd name. I'll have to give it to you later. I can't think of what it is. But then I do go online and I get the Maxi Lock thread.
Ooh, Troy, you're right. This pattern would be really nice in like a double gauze. You are absolutely correct.
Yeah.
That would be very pretty. Sherry on Facebook said I rotary cut through the flower head pins. Oh my goodness.
Oh no, I haven't done that.
I will tell you, Sherry, I just got a rotary cutter. I've been missing out. I don't know. I've been living under a rock apparently. And I just picked up a rotary cutter and a mat, and I have not been the same since, in the best way. It is a game changer, absolute game changer. Patty is wondering, where did you find the external lighting for your machine, Carrie?
Oh, I've had this forever, almost like a year after I got it. And I remember buying it online, and I had people ask me about this all the time. And I had no idea where I got it from, but that's how bright it is. I have it off right now.
Oh, wow.
Just because of the camera lighting, but it's super bright.
Now, I believe we do have some.
But they do have them. They are available.
Oh, yeah. We definitely have some. I'm going to go
ahead this because mine is so old.
Right.
The funny thing is when I send it in for repair, this machine has never been repaired, it's only been serviced. Mm-hmm. So when I send it in for servicing, I take all of this off because the tech guys don't like all this external stuff that we put on our machines.
Right.
They tend to take it off and not send it back to you. So I take it off. Even though it's a little bit of a pain to put back on, but yeah, I take it off. I always forget how to connect this side here.
So for those of y'all watching at home and following along, we did just add a sewing machine light from Caterpillar to our category page. And Caterpillar does make some really great lights, makes some awesome just sewing machine bits and bobs, honestly. But yeah, check that one out. It is $24.99 on our website right now. So a quick, easy little attachment. Yeah, quick and easy attachment. So I hope that helps, Patty.
Yeah, this one is so old. I sometimes wonder if the bulb goes out, where do I even get the bulb from? I don't know. I might have to find a light. Because what is that, like 13, 14 years old now?
Right. Oh my gosh, yeah. Time is flying. Jeez. That's crazy, right? Okay, that's wild to me.
We're going to put the pocket on. Wild. I'll show you again. It's already pinned. Let me turn it to the camera here. So it's already pinned on. And what we do here is we sew. So we make the garment with the 5/8 inch seam allowance, but the pocket you want to put on with a 3/8 inch seam allowance because you don't want that seam that you created, that you added to the pocket, you don't want that to show.
Right.
So 3/8 inch. I'll do that now on this one. Actually, on all of them. So this is sewing machine, not serger. And here's a little tip. The width of the stitch on my serger is 3/8, so I can sew right there and use that as a guide on the pocket. And when you top and bottom, you want a back stitch because you don't want your pocket coming apart.
Definitely.
That's actually a lot of repairs that I do for people with pockets.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So I just came unthreaded. I'm going to thread myself back. And this has a needle threader.
Yes.
And as long as your needle is in the highest position, it will work. If it's not in the highest position, it will not work.
Yes.
And it worked.
There we go. I like Juki's. I really like Juki's threaders. I mean, they're really easy to use. It took me a minute to figure that out once it's about the positioning of the needle. Once you kind of know that and take that into account, it is super duper easy, and it's way better than just threading your machine by eye.
Okay, I'm going to do pocket number 2 for the front.
And Troy over on YouTube is wondering, what seam are you on, Carrie? Are you on the side seam right now? You're sewing up that pocket, right?
I'm adding the pocket to the side seam right now.
There we go. Perfect.
And so I'm back at a straight stitch with my needle at the center point, and I'm at 3.5 width, 2.4 length. I think some machines will go to 2.5. There is no 2.4. It's somewhere in there.
Yeah. I am so excited. I'm just so excited because everybody in the comments is saying that they are so inspired and so excited to make this duster. So Mary, I really hope you do make it, and you should definitely join Sew Forum and post pictures of it whenever you're done, because we love seeing people's finished products. Same thing, Stephen Norma. Oh my gosh, get that pattern. Get the pattern. It's really fantastic. They have plenty of size options, so it will. They cover a very wide variety, wide range of sizes, and I really like that about this company.
And don't be afraid to hack it.
Yeah.
Shorter sleeves, make shorter sleeves. If you want that pocket
now
add it to the inside.
Now that I've gotten more comfortable with
sewing, your binding doesn't have to match your fabric. In my case, it will. But it doesn't have to. Like our picture there, you'll see the print with the solid binding. But don't be afraid to add another color. I made a blue and white one that's like a denim wash. So it's lightweight, but it's a pretty, almost like a tie-dye print. Yeah. And I added black bias binding to the edges.
Oh, that's awesome.
So it's a narrow binding on that one. This one will be a little wider. Okay, so I've got the front, pocket on the fronts are done. I've already finished the side seams of the back. So now I'll add the pockets to the back. Just make sure I'm doing right side to right side.
So we had a question from Delia. Delia over on Facebook is wondering what's the pattern. So Delia, Carrie is actually using a simplicity pattern, but we don't carry simplicity patterns, but we do carry this brand called So Liberated. It's over on the category page in the description if you want to take a look at that. It's a pretty comparable duster to the one that Carrie is making right now. And it's really fantastic. It comes in a wide variety of sizes, from a 0 to a size 30, which is probably round about a 3XL. So it covers a wide variety of sizes. And while Carrie's sewing up this seam for you, I'll go ahead and show you what this pattern, what this duster looks like while it's done. It's got some really fantastic little pockets. The pockets are on the outside as opposed to the inside, but you could hack this and you could definitely put the pockets on the inside if you wanted to. But it's very flowy.
It looks like a princess theme. Can you see? Turn back to that.
Oh, it almost does. You know, you're right.
It is. There's princess theme in there.
Oh, and it almost looks like, yeah.
So that's where you can even change up your fabric. You don't have to have your front and sides don't have to match.
Right.
You could put an alternative fabric there, like maybe a plaid and a floral.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah,
absolutely. And it's nice because this one does come with a belt, so you could just wrap it up and do like a duster dress sort of scenario if you wanted to.
If I had fabric left over, I would have made a belt, but I ran out.
See, you've got a wide variety of options, sizes, etc. This is what it looks like whenever you're done. Oh, I see. So it looks like it's kind of pleated in the back, which is really fun. So this one's a little bit, I think it might be a little bit more challenging than the simplicity pattern because that one is just 5 pieces. This one seems like a good bit more, but definitely gorgeous. It's got it looks like a shawl collar. That's so pretty. And these are just some different ways that you can wear it. Yeah.
And then go back and find the video that we did where I showed how to do princess things.
Yes. Oh, yes. Oh, my goodness.
So that's the AllBrands video.
Yes. Oh, gosh. When did we do that? That was a while ago.
That was at the beginning of the pandemic.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh. Oh no. But yeah, I will say one thing that I have gotten way more comfortable with sewing. I've been sewing for about 4 years. It hasn't been very, very much or very long. But I find that the more comfortable I get with sewing, the more comfortable I am with just treating the pattern like guidelines. Yeah, I mean, I'll look at the instructions or something and I'll read them and I'll say, you know what, I don't like the order of these steps. It'll get done. We're just not gonna do them in this order. Hold on, that makes no sense. Why not? But
I look at some of them and I go, wait, why do you want me to do that?
Right? Yeah, sometimes I'm like, I don't need to do all that. No, we're not doing that right now. And so for everyone watching right now, we've got a few more people signing on. If you're just joining us, thank you so very much for tuning in. We are just having a little chat while Carrie sews up this fantastic duster that she's making with this beautiful, beautiful polyester rayon fabric. It's so pretty. So if you did miss a little bit of it, we talked a little bit about serging versus zigzag stitching, kind of what those two will look like when you're finishing the actual pieces of this garment. But we are probably not going to have time to finish this garment today, so part 2 will be coming next Thursday. So you can see Carrie finish the actual garment, so putting on the band and everything else. But we just wanted to have 2 weeks of the AllBrands show just being a little chatty stitch, little stitch and chat. I don't know. Oh, perfect.
So all of this will end up on the inside.
Mm-hmm. And there it is.
Tuck your hands in your pockets, and who doesn't love pockets?
We love pockets. I know that they seem kind of scary at first, but once you get more comfortable with doing them, I will add pockets to everything. I have bought clothes from a store, and then I have gone home and added pockets to the skirt or dress or something. And I use fabric in my stash. It's not like anybody's going to see them if they're just going to be inside. So I'll do something kind of fun. I love Halloween. Halloween is my favorite holiday, and I have a ton of Halloween fabric on hand at all times. So, I might make like a pocket with pumpkins or something, or bats, whatever. Just something fun.
All right. I think it looks like I'm stuck. Where's that? Okay, there we go. I just wanted to switch cameras again. Going back to the table. Okay, so I've got all 4 pieces of pockets sewn to the garment.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're going to do the shoulder seams. And I think we are here. So here's my back laying down, right side up. Awesome. And I'm double checking my pockets that they're in the right place. They are. Move that out of the way. So this fabric was sliding off my table. The fabric itself is not slippery, but it was sliding off the table when I was working with it. So I made these. Can you see that?
Oh, yeah.
This little pattern waist. All it is washers. I think I have 3 washers in here.
Oh, fantastic.
2 or 3 washers in here. Wrapped it with a piece of fabric and put a ponytail holder on it.
Done and done.
So I have a whole little basket of them.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. There's my little basket. And my basket was made by my friend Molly from Molly Made.
That's so clever.
Yeah. Well, I like covering them because I was concerned about them scratching fabric.
Yeah.
So, and then the nice thing about the covers is it's just a square of fabric. You can change it up.
Right.
If you're really
Carrie, we're learning so much from you today. Oh my goodness. I'm going to go home and do like half of these things now. I need to go make some pattern weights.
Yes, you do. That's because I talk too much. That's why.
It's just so easy. I mean, hey, I can hop on over to the hardware store like on the way home or something, pick up some washers, and then boom, I've got pattern weights.
Surprised. The first guy, he didn't understand, and I didn't know what they were called. I couldn't think of the word washers.
Oh.
I was like, I know there's these little round. He's like, well, how are you going to use them? And when I told him, he kind of frowned at me. Then he went and got another guy, and that guy's like, oh yeah, my daughter sews. So he got it.
This is going to sound so silly, but for the longest time, and I still do this sometimes, I have, those like polished like river stones. I use those as pattern weights sometimes, depending on the piece. If it's really big, that works really well.
Here's a really
but I was like, all right, I'll have like,
you could buy tiles, like bathroom tiles.
Oh yeah.
Smaller ones. And you can use your scan and cut.
Definitely.
Cut out a design or your name or whatever.
Yeah.
And actually put that in the heat press.
Oh, that's awesome.
Just be careful when it comes out because it's going to be blazing hot. But
right.
You can heat press vinyl onto those tiles.
Yes.
But you can also paint. I don't paint. I don't do wet anything. I don't paint. I don't tie dye. I don't bleach. I don't like any of that stuff. Okay.
Carolyn.
So here is. All I've done here is just matched up my shoulder seam. That's all I've done.
That's it.
And I'm going to do 2 pins on each shoulder. You know, I have this thing about pins. When you use a lot of pins, you always put them in upside down. When you use a lot of pins, you kind of distort your fabric.
That's very true, depending on what you're working with.
And then you get to the end and you wonder why it's not matching up.
Right.
Or you wonder why you even have pucker sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So to be honest with you, this is only getting pinned because I'm on camera. If I weren't on camera, this wouldn't be pinned.
I like to pin from the 2 outsides and then work my way in just so I know the pattern pieces are matching up perfectly.
Yeah, so when I do the side seams, I'll be pinning those 2 pockets together and make sure that all lines up. But the shoulder seams are ready to be sewn. So I've got my 2 pins in each one.
Or honestly, sometimes I even use quilt clips.
Yeah,
just because I don't want to poke myself.
I tend to use those a lot when I'm making bags.
People keep joking about like the blood, sweat, and tears you put into the project or something. I'm like, yeah, there's literal blood. I have poked myself so many times with this, with all of my pins. It's chaos. It's absolute chaos. Oh, Carrie, you're muted.
Okay.
Perfect.
Okay. Now what needs to be perfect is you can't see the machine, can you?
No.
Why is that, Kelly?
Yeah, you may have to swap cameras in your camera settings.
Oh, thank you. You're right.
And howdy to everybody just joining us. I'm noticing in the chat that there are some people just joining us. Thank you for tuning in. But if you want to, feel free to watch this show again when we go off the air. You'll be able to watch the whole thing, the whole shebang, once we go off the air. We've just been chatting while Carrie makes this awesome duster. But yeah, feel free to go back and watch the replay of this show after. And then you can join us for part 2. We're not going to be able to finish this garment today, but we will finish it next Thursday. So it'll just be another chatty little sewing project live, which I'm really enjoying. I hope that you guys are having fun. I'm having fun. I love chatting with everybody. And garment sewing is like my thing. That's how I got started. So I love this.
I don't know if you can see what I'm doing here, but that's the first shoulder seam. I'm not going to take it off the machine. I'm just going to keep sewing. So here's the second shoulder seam. I'm just butting them up together.
Oh, perfect.
A little speed sewing for you. No other reason. It's just speed sewing.
Right.
And speaking of speed, this machine is super fast. I think it's like 1,200 stitches a minute.
Mm-hmm.
And I have pushed it to its max. This is not even fast. Okay, so those are sewn. They got stuck together here. That was my budding. It wasn't quite budded, but I'll just cut them apart, and now I have my 2 shoulder seams, which are unfinished. So I'm going to take it to the serger and finish them.
Perfect.
And let's see if I don't get my shoulder in there this time.
Yes, please let us know in the comments if you're enjoying this style of show. It's a little different, I think, from what we normally do, but I think we're having a good time. We're having fun.
And again, I'm on the serger finishing this, but you can finish this just like we did that side seam on your sewing machine with a zip bag.
Definitely.
And I'm doing the same thing. So that shoulder is finished. I'm not taking it off the serger. I'm just gonna put the next one in and keep going.
Oh, that's so smart. So Chantel on Facebook said, I arrived late. What are we making? Chantel, we are making an awesome kimono duster. We have a pattern on our website that's just a slightly different from the one that Carrie is using right now. But it does come in a wide variety of sizes. And it is also a very adorable duster pattern. So if you're curious and you want to see the pattern that we've got on our website, you can shop our category page for this show that we've got down in the description.
So I'm going to show you again. So I've got this tail here. Cut it kind of close, not too close. And then I'm going to grab one of those threads.
Oh, Carrie, we lost you.
I saw that.
Oh, no.
That's not good.
Oh, no. I'm just sitting here, like, just focused in on this. I'm having so much fun. I love watching other people, so I don't know. I'm weird.
None of my cameras are working.
Oh, no. Really?
Yeah, really.
Oh, crud. Okay. How about this? Try maybe backing out and coming back in again.
Okay.
That might work. That might work. In the meantime, while we get Carrie's cameras back up and working, thank you all so much for tuning in to the show today. Just a little bit of like housekeeping, I guess, for the show. Just wanted to let you know to stay tuned because we will be giving away that $100 AllBrands gift card at the end, just like we always do. And we have some really exciting stuff going on behind the scenes. We will be at Everything Embroidery Market next month. That is September 9th through the 11th, I believe. So we will be there all day. Come check us out if you are in the Biloxi area or you're traveling over to Biloxi. And in a similar vein, we of course are going to be at the Houston International Quilt Festival. Very exciting. So yeah, stay tuned for that. That's going to be happening in October, but it feels like time's kind of flying right now, which is a little crazy. But I'll tell you what, this has been a super fun show. We're just waiting for Carrie to get back, get her cameras back up and running. But let's say hi to a few folks in the comments while we are waiting for Carrie to come back and see us. So we got CD Schreiber, Joan Shriver from Merriam, hope I pronounced that right, Kansas. Awesome. Thank you so much for joining us. Angela, hi from San Antonio. Well, hi, Angela. You've got an AllBrands store pretty close to you. So we got Lakia from Maryland. Hi. So good to see y'all today. Oh, Mary from South Carolina. Fantastic. And I think Carrie is back. So let's bring her back in. Yes. Okay.
So that's the table. Let's go to the right camera now. Hopefully they all work.
Right.
I have no idea what happened.
It's the magic of live television. That's what I always say. And we got a lot of folks. Oh my goodness. Let's see. So let's see. We've got Sandra from Louisiana. Hello. I think we got some questions too. Oh my goodness. So many people in the chat. Let's see. Irma from New Orleans. Hi, Irma. Oh my gosh. I'm from the New Orleans area. I do miss it over there. Colleen from Slidell. Howdy, Colleen. You've got a store pretty close to you. Deborah in Austin. I was just in Austin a couple weeks ago. I am in love with Austin. I'm obsessed with Austin. It's a fantastic city. We got Ginny over there in Pennsylvania. Hi. Thank you so much for tuning in. We got Mary Kelly over in Georgia. Cannot wait to make this duster. Do it. Do it. Oh my gosh. That's the one thing that I really like about doing the show is just the amount of inspiration that even I get from having all these awesome guests on the show. We get a lot of really cool people and a lot of really awesome ideas, which is super exciting. So let's see if we got Carrie back with us. Yes, we do. Welcome back. Oh, wait, you're muted.
Okay.
Perfect.
I had no idea.
We're back.
Back out. Okay.
Oh my goodness.
So we're talking about this thread. Just pull it until it's tight.
Yes.
That's exactly what I was about.
That's it.
All right. So we're going to go back to the table one more time for this event.
Perfect.
And then we're going to sew one more time, and then we will come back next week and finish this up.
Awesome.
So hold on.
Let's see if it works.
Yes, right? Okay.
Yay.
I see the table. And that's right. There's nothing on it right now.
Woohoo.
There we go. Okay, so I'm going to just lay this out on the table. Normally, I would be pressing all of this as we go.
Mm-hmm.
Just so you know, the pockets would have been pressed, the shoulder seams would have been pressed. But I'm just going to do a little bit of finger pressing just to get the corners to lay down for me. Uh, grab my pins. Can you see the pocket? Oh, yes, you can. Good.
Yep. Yeah.
So what I want to do is make sure I line up this front pocket and this back pocket together. And I want these seams, all of the seam allowance to go toward the pocket. I don't want any of that seam allowance toward the front of the garment. So I'm going to pin the seam allowance down and keep it down. And then I'll do the same thing at the bottom. It's nice to have everything finished inside. This looks so good. Definitely. And I couldn't decide the thread color, but I finally decided on red.
I love the red.
Yeah. I think the red shows up better than I was thinking, like a lime green, but I think this shows up better on camera too.
Yeah, I think it looks great.
I definitely wasn't doing black.
Chantel over on Facebook was wondering, who is the fabric designer? Do you know what where you got this fabric or the brand?
I don't. I got it at a store in downtown Chicago, Rainbow Fabrics, but I don't know the name of the fabric itself. This is the one they had to correct the name.
Oh, right, right.
They were trying to sell it as silk. I'm like, it's not silk.
It's not silk.
It feels like silk, but it's not silk.
Right.
Okay. So I'm doing the same thing on the other side. I don't know if you can see me, but exactly what I did there is what I'm doing on the other side.
Perfect.
Make sure those seam allowances go toward the pocket.
And the finished edge looks so fantastic. I'm telling you, y'all, if you're a garment sewer and you're looking to really take it just up a notch, just kicking it up a notch, definitely invest in a serger.
Yes.
Especially like the one that you've got, that MO1000. It's a really fantastic serger. I mean, we've been talking about how these machines are such powerhouses, and they are. And at the end of the day, you just have such a lovely finished product. Like, it looks like you bought it in a store. You have a lot less to be concerned about in regards to fraying too, which is fantastic. So you can work with some of those more challenging fabrics that might fray on you.
Here's the funny thing: when you make garments, and especially when you first start, people kind of don't believe that you made it.
Right.
And they will tend to, before you know, I mean, within an instant, before you can even react, they'll open up your garment.
Yeah.
And look on the inside. Or they'll, I tend to, when I make t-shirts, I tend to offset that back seam a little bit. And I'll put it on the shoulder instead sometimes.
Yeah.
Because people will look at the back and they'll pull down the back of your garment looking for a store tag.
Right.
And I don't want them to see that seam. So I hide it from them. Because there's a lot of older ladies at my church, and they're always like turning up my hems. They're looking, they're turning down my collars. They, one guy came up to me and he said, "Oh, did you make that?" Which I was shocked because it was a tailor jacket. And so he said, "Did you make that?" I said, "I did." And he reached, and I took a step back. I'm like, "You're not touching my jacket." But they kind of don't believe you. Either they don't believe you, or they're so surprised they want to see what the inside looks like.
Exactly. April's saying that serging is definitely better than store-bought clothing. I agree. I definitely agree.
Definitely.
For sure. I find that, it feels more personal. I don't know. There's something really nice about making something tailored specifically to you.
Right.
Regardless of whether or not you're making adjustments to your pattern, but you're picking your fabric, you're picking your thread. You have a lot of say what goes into this project. It is wholly, completely yours. I love that so much.
Make it yours. Make it
absolutely
yours.
One of my favorite things. Yeah, so incredible. And I'm telling you, just definitely think about investing in a serger if you haven't and you'd like to get more into garment sewing, or you already are and you don't own one. It is an absolute game changer, especially when you have the options to do like a rolled hem or something like that. Just absolutely awesome.
Like adding pearls.
Yeah. And I get it. I understand. Like, sergers can look pretty intimidating for sure. They can definitely look kind of scary. You got a lot of moving parts in there. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I don't feel like adjusting the tension or rethreading the machine. That's too big of a pain. I'm not doing it. But we definitely, We have some really fantastic sergers that can do a lot of that for you. We've got a Bernina serger that does have jet air threading, which is super awesome. And B, we also offer a lot of education on how to do and how to operate these kinds of machines. So if you are curious, definitely, I think we lost Carrie again. Oh, geez. But yeah, if you are curious, definitely check it out, think about it, think on it, sit on it. We will have those fantastic Black Friday deals coming in the not too distant future, honestly, now that I'm thinking about what time of year it is.
Yeah.
It's kind of crazy, right?
Yeah.
That's kind of wild. Yeah, there's such a good quality. April, you make a good point. The quality of store-bought clothing has kind of gone down a little bit. I think that we as a society have gotten so caught up in fast fashion.
Mm-hmm.
And while, it stays trendy, the quality of the actual garments, it could rip, the first time you wash it or something. You can remake or just repair, I find myself having to remake and repair stuff that I buy. But what I do love to do, and I've started doing this recently, if I find, like a pattern, like a dress or something that I really like, or a shirt or something, I'll pattern it myself. Like I'll just try and kind of draw it out, figure out how to make my own of that. Because usually when I like something, I want it in like every color. Just to have, I'm like a cartoon character. It's just the same color over and over. Or it's like the same design over and over. But yeah, I love to do that with my fab or my clothes. I love to do that so much. And Carrie is back. You're back.
Okay.
Thank you so much for putting up with all of our technical difficulties at home, you guys. StreamYard is being very mean today. StreamYard is being very mean to us.
It's not letting me switch cameras now.
Oh no.
It's only doing it's not doing anything now.
Yeah, it looks like you're frozen. But yeah, Barbara, human clip art. You're absolutely right. Like that's that's exactly what we lost Carrie again. Bummer. We keep losing her. Thank you all for keeping up with our technical difficulties and everything. I appreciate it. But yeah, Denise, I'm wanting to get back into sewing after I finish all my UFOs. I find it so hard to fit myself. Yes. It gets frustrating at first. I think I've got a very low like frustration tolerance, especially when it comes to sewing or like making mock-ups of something. If I go through like 3 or 4 mock-ups, sometimes I'm just like, no, we're done. But I will say that, continuing the project, like maybe taking a break and then coming back to it and actually finishing it is so gratifying. And that is one thing that I've learned over, I think, like my 4 years of sewing. That has just been so gratifying. Yeah, it's really fantastic. April said, who would have thunk that sewing instructors would also have to major in TV production? I'm way behind in that category. Yeah, we do have to be TV news broadcasters, I guess, in its own way. And let's see if we can get Carrie back here. All right.
Okay. And I'm that I want to use. Okay. And this is our last camera switch, I think.
Yeah.
For today. But what you saw on the table was that I pinned the pockets.
Yes.
Line those up. Now we're going to the sewing machine. Let me get this back in place. I had it in my hand so long. So remember the pocket was sewn with a 3/8 inch stitch.
Yes.
So the garment now is going to be sewn with a 5/8 inch stitch. The side
Perfect.
Okay. And then I'll show you how we come around that pocket. A little bit of pivoting when we get there. I had a pin here, I just took it out. I'm going to start my 5/8 inch seam allowance. I can get everything to lay down nice and neat. And if you're making something like this for the first time, just take your time. And you can message Kalli if you get in trouble. No, you can. I'm sorry, I'm just joking. You can message me if you get in trouble. Okay, so I did a back stitch at the top there. And now I'm going to go down to where the pocket is. Give me a second here. I think it's got away from me. Again. Sorry, we had the technical difficulties. I really didn't do anything except back out, come back in.
StreamYard can be very unkind sometimes, but that's all right. So while Carrie's sewing, we have our founder, John Douthit, over in the chat, who's asking me to tell everyone about the quilt hanging up behind me. This is actually a quilt that Barbara made. I cannot remember how long ago that was. But Barbara made this one, and the fabrics are really gorgeous. It's all straight stitched. You can't quite see it in the background. You can't quite see it on camera at all, but it's got these lovely rows of parallel lines. Oh, Carrie, we lost your camera again. Oh no. We can still hear you though.
Okay.
Which is so strange. That is so weird.
It is weird.
So you just sewed up the side with the pocket, right? Oh, we lost her. Oh no. The magic of live television. Am I right? But yeah, so anyway, this quilt behind us, can you see the straight stitching at all? Not quite. But yes, this is something that Barbara made. We've got hanging up. We have another one over here that you can't quite see, but it is gorgeous, and it's got unicorns on it, so I love it. Yeah, Sharon, the video gremlins are back at work again. They never sleep.
I work
all right. You know, we work hard, but the video gremlins work harder. Oh wait, Carrie, we got Carrie back. All right, let's put her on. Yes, awesome. Fantastic. So we sewed up the side seam with the pocket, right?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Now I got pop-ups on my laptop. Those are out. I hope you guys can't see them.
And I hope y'all are enjoying this format of the show today. It's a little different. Like I said, we're getting a little more chatty with it today, but I hope you're having fun. I am definitely having a fantastic time hanging out with all of you. And Carrie, this is already looking amazing.
Oh yeah, it's getting there. Once I put the pockets in, I'll be able to hold it up and you'll see.
Oh, perfect.
What it looks like. Okay, so I'm getting close to the pocket. I'm only like a half inch from the pocket. And I want to sew down to where the pocket actually starts. So you had your finishing there. You want to go a little past that finishing, maybe 1 or 2 stitches only, not inches. And then that's when you pivot. What is going on? What is going on?
We can still see you though. Yeah, you're in good shape.
Facebook popped up.
Facebook. Oh, Facebook. Shout out to everyone watching on Facebook. Thank you for tuning in today.
It wasn't that part of Facebook. It was my personal page. It decided to pop up. So you pivot, and now you're going to go around that curve. Remember, we sewed around the curve to finish it. Now we're going to sew around that same curve. The only difference is you have 2 layers because you have your front and back pocket together. So we're going to sew around that. And here's another little tip. That stitching that if you did it on your serger, that you would put, you have your needle at the center point, and you would put the edge of your presser foot along the edge of that finishing. To the inside edge of that finishing, and that's your guide.
That's fantastic.
Because remember on the serger, it was 3/8 inch finishing.
Right.
And I moved 5/8 inch. So if I do that, and I'm perfect.
Oh, Josie, I'm sorry to hear you're not getting notifications. Josie Sows is saying that she's not getting, she's getting notifications late for the show. And I'm sorry, that is, YouTube's algorithm has been really goofing up as of late. But I will say at the very least, if you'd like, set your alarm on your phone. We go live every single Thursday at 3:30 p.m. Central Time. So that'll be, Yeah, so that'll be 4:30 Eastern. What is that? 1:30 Pacific.
2:30 Mountain.
Yeah, 1:30 Pacific. There we go. So every Thursday we are here in the studio with the AllBrands show, and we will be doing a part 2 to this garment construction next week. So set your alarms, mark your calendars, etc., and come watch us finish up this garment. It is so awesome.
Okay, so now I'm coming to the bottom of the pocket,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm going to go past that seam. Make sure your seam allowance is still pointing toward the pocket, not toward the garment. So just past that seam allowance, 2 or 3 stitches.
Perfect.
And then pivot. And then you're going to go to the bottom of your garment.
There we go. And yes, normally you make a great point.
Now I can sew fast. I'm out of that whole pocket thing.
Yeah, right.
The pocket, take your
Like
time.
it's speed.
Let's go.
Yes, Stephen Norman, you make a great point. If you are watching this on YouTube, if you are subscribed to our channel, make sure that you have the bell clicked as well. That will send you, hopefully it should send you push notifications every time we go live or upload a new video. But like I said, sometimes the algorithm gets a little goofy on us. So definitely make sure the notifications are set to all, but even then, sometimes you might not get the notification. So definitely do all of the things, subscribe, click the bell, follow us on everywhere. We are everywhere. And definitely mark your calendars for next week, because we will be finishing up this duster next week, which is going to be awesome.
So that's how we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side.
Mm-hmm.
And then we will be done for today.
Yes. Babette said taking that time to have those pockets is definitely worth it. It is so worth it. It's like, it's a little scary, maybe like the first time you do it. Worst case, you just unpick it and then start over again. I've had to do that many a time.
Before you unpick it, lay it on your table, because it's probably okay.
Right. Right.
Lay it on your table and take a good look at it before you start taking things.
Oh, definitely. Definitely. Lorraine, so no, Carrie doesn't really pin when she sews her fabric. We had a little talk about that earlier. Very occasionally. And that's my favorite thing too, Josie. It's got to have pockets. You're right. That's my favorite thing, is when I make something and somebody says like, "Oh, I really love that," or "I love that dress." My first instinct is to go, "Thanks. It has pockets." Always. Always. You have to point that out to people, because then they're like, "Oh my gosh, it's so good." And I love that. I think that's fantastic. May as well take the time and add those pockets. It's definitely worthwhile. And it's kind of nice because you can make your pockets as big as you want within reason. The sky's really the limit when it comes to pockets.
Make the pockets.
And since we are on the subject of pockets, a little fun fact here. They used to be, back in like the 18th century, pockets were actually detached from all of your clothing. They were something that tied around your waist and went under all of your undergarments, essentially, so you could still carry stuff. But that little nursery rhyme, like Lucy Lockett lost her pocket, Kitty Fisher found it. That's why she lost her pocket. I thought that made no sense when I was a kid, and then I learned that. So a little historical pocket fun fact of the day.
And I learned that from an apron maker who did a historical show or something. I saw it a few years ago, and I'm like, oh, that makes sense.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, at the very beginning of the pandemic, we first started doing this show. I was on the show with Barbara, and we made this little, it's essentially an 18th century pocket. I use it to I wear it to the Renaissance Fair. So I can like keep my phone and my keys on me, but still kind of stay in character. And they're fun little pouches. They are super easy to sew. So if you are curious about making them, the pattern, the construction, I make it on a sewing machine. I'm not going to sew it by hand, even though it's an 18th century.
Yeah, right.
But if you're curious, we do have a tutorial on how to do that over on our YouTube channel and on our Facebook. It is an old show, I think from last summer, maybe, or the summer before. No, it was last summer. I've
got a little tip for our newbies.
Yeah.
So this fabric, it doesn't matter if it's flimsy or solid or straight or heavy. You can only control so much of this fabric. So from the needle to the end of the machine. That's about all you can control. If you're trying to control way back here,
Yeah.
it's not going to work. The fabric, even if you've got a pen, the fabric is
Right.
just going to move on you. So you'll see me go from here to there, and then I'll go back to here.
Mm-hmm.
So whether my hands are on top. For here, my hands have my fingers under holding it, but when I get close to the end, my hands will be on top. And that's stuff I do without thinking about it, but see, I'm almost at the end, and now I don't have much to control here. So I'm going to put my hands on top. So that way.
There you go.
And then people tend, so they get excited when they get to the end and they want to let everything go. You still need to hold on to that fabric and guide it.
And yeah, Josie, there are patterns for those that can be made on an embroidery machine. They used to be hand embroidered, but obviously now, thanks to modern technology, some people have digitized some really awesome historical like pocket patterns. There is someone on Instagram, her ad is Sewstine, Sewstine, and she digitizes a bunch of 18th century patterns for modern embroidery machines, if you're curious about that.
Did you see me smile when I turned the camera to me?
Yeah. I was a little worried for a minute. I was like, oh no, is the camera going to go dark? Oh no.
Here we are.
So this is our very basic duster sans sleeves.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah. So next week we'll do the sleeves
Mm-hmm.
and the band.
That fabric is just so gorgeous.
It is. This is pretty, and it's so flowy. It's going to be like perfect. Who knows? I was going to say, who knows? I'll wear it Sunday, but I can't finish it, right?
Right.
I can't wear it Sunday. Okay. I have other dusters I can wear.
Yes, and Stephen Norma, for those of you wondering, that is this is Christine's Instagram where she digitizes a bunch of patterns. So drop that in the chat. It's there. Take a look at it. She has some really cool stuff. She does amazing work. And I am so excited to see this duster finished next week too. I'm already excited because we're almost there. It's so close.
Almost there. We need a brand and a hem, and that's it.
Oh, that's so exciting. So that's it. That's what we've got for you for the show today. Thank you so much, Carrie, for doing this, despite all the technical difficulties we had throughout the show today.
Popping out.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. So Lorraine is asking about the sleeves. We'll be doing the sleeves next week. So we I don't think we've touched the sleeves yet, Carrie, right? You haven't done anything with them at all. Okay. Awesome. So so that is that. Thank you so much for being on the show today, Carrie. But before you all go, we are going to pull that name for the $100 gift card. So let's do that very, very quickly. I know we're a little over today, but thank you all for hanging around with us. This has been a really fun show today. I'm having a lot of fun. So now we are going to pick a random winner of a $100 AllBrands gift card. And let's get a little drum roll, please. And our winner is Patty Phillips. Oh, congratulations, Patty. You have just won a $100 AllBrands gift card. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Yes. If you would, Patty, if you're still watching, please go ahead and email events@allbrands.com and please give us your name, your address, and your phone number so we can get that gift card out to you. Congratulations. Oh, I'm so excited. Hey, you can buy that pattern. You can get some of the scissors Carrie's got while you're at it. You know, we've got everything down in the category page that Carrie was working with today. Or
Serger, you need one?
What's that?
Invest in the Serger if you don't have one.
Yes, invest in the Serger. Oh my, y'all, I cannot begin to tell you the MO1000 is so good. It's so good. I mean, and not just that, there are plenty of other Sergers on the market that we definitely recommend. But take a look at them. We have plenty in every price range. So feel free to shop around on our site for a fantastic Serger. And congratulations again to Patty. And thank you so, so much, Carrie, for being on the show today. And tune in next week. Tune in next week because we will be finishing this duster next week. And it's going to be awesome. We're going to put in the sleeves. We're going to add that band. And then we're just going to finish the whole thing up. And this has been a super fun little chatty sewing session with you today. So let's go ahead and sign off for the day. But thank you all again so much for tuning in. and we'll see you next week. Bye, everybody.